So, good evening, everybody, for our last Nerium call for this year. And we are really happy to have Vicky on board. Well, it's a little bit special. You look not really like dressed for winter, but your picture. So, before we start, what do you feel like saying, Marco?
Hi, Vicky. I'm grateful to be on your team.
Great, thank
you. I'm curious what about I will learn today.
Good, that's a good start. And Ingrid, what do you feel like saying?
Hello, Vicky. Hello, Marco. Hello, Hardy. I'm glad to be on this call, but I'm a little bit sad because it's the last call from these 8 calls we have with Vicky and Anna, so it's a little bit sad. And yes, I got a lot of more tools. I have this one.
Cool.
I learned a lot on these calls, and that's great. I have more options to communicate with people.
Great, thank you. And Vicky, what do you feel like saying?
I feel like saying good evening, and I'm thrilled to be with you. I know it's morning here in California, but thrilled to be with you this evening.
So you can correct all the things we didn't really do right during the day. What do I feel like saying? I'm really happy for all of us that we have come to our first year, the end of our first year with Nerium, and I think after the Christmas party, I get a feeling that everybody is really excited to do much better next year. And I think if we do so, I'm quite sure that we can have Vicky and Anna on a regular basis on our calls. But that's not my promise, that's just a wish between the lines. So the stage is yours, Vicky. So what are you going to tell us tonight?
Yes, great. Wonderful. Thank you. And thank you, Hardy, for putting these together for your team. You're such a wonderful leader, and I know we all thank you for that. So I'm going to be sharing about promoting events, because this has definitely been a series of Zooms that we've done, and our final one is about promoting events. And what you might be wondering, what do you mean by event? And really, truly, in the Nerium Rhythm book that Jeff Olson has rewritten and done a beautiful job, and I think it's only available for you online right now.
Yes.
Right? You can download it and print it out on paper, but eventually you'll be able to get the book itself, but then it will say Neora next year. So I'm kind of glad you didn't buy the book because we're going to change the name. But in here, as part of the 10 core commitments, and that's what this is all about, that's also in your success planner as well. They map out the 10 core commitments that come in your kit. So the success planner, that spiral binder that's in your kit, you can look that up as well. But part of the 10 core of having a successful business is several things. Number 4, because actually, let me back up. We've kind of covered number 1, complete new brand partner training. Number 2, exposures, the 2-a-day system. We've talked about how to share the products. That's number 3, including contacting, inviting. So we've done all of this in this nice series of video Zooms that we've done. But number 4 is to attend a weekly market party or a real results party. Number 5 is to attend a weekly training. Number 6 is to attend a regional training. Number 7 is to attend all major corporate conferences. So as you can see, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of the 10 has to do with events. And so basically, I will back up and talk about weekly market parties. Now, in Switzerland right now, you may not be having a weekly market party, right? And that's the one where you have it at a hotel, you have it at a restaurant, and everybody invites into it. You may have been doing a few of those, quite often. You might have been doing them monthly. But when you do wind up ramping things up and the business is growing and so many team members are joining, you will probably get back to having a weekly market party. So you want to promote into that. You want to invite. They say the word promote, but they really mean invite. They mean spread the word. They mean make sure your team knows that the weekly market party is going on. So basically the best promoters, we call it in the United States, the best promoters of your business are the most successful people. The ones that are making sure if you have sponsored someone into your business, you brought someone on board, right, that you're making sure they know about these events. If you're maybe you haven't sponsored anyone yet and it's just you, right, you need to promote it to yourself. You need to be on top of things, make sure you know when the events are happening. So part of that number 4 is also attend a weekly real results party. So those are the parties you're doing in your home. So since you've had such a wonderful Christmas party recently, I'm sure Hardy promoted that. He made sure you all knew about it. And then amongst each other, you were saying, hey, are you going to the party, to the Christmas party? You were promoting that. So that's all promotion is, making sure people know about it, making sure they know you're excited about it and you will be there. You wouldn't miss it. That's what they mean by promoting events. So it's it is a big deal. You want to make sure you know about them and you're going to every one of the events that you possibly can. Of course, things come up with family now and then, and maybe you can't attend, but you want to make sure that your team knows about it, that you don't just rely on email or Basecamp, right? Basecamp is wonderful, but also picking up the phone and calling to make sure people know about it is really critical, because not everybody is that on top of things, paying attention to Basecamp. Hopefully they are, but sometimes, it's technology still, and we need to have high touch as well as high tech, right? So you'll want to make sure you're not just texting people also, that there's that personal high touch of a phone call when you're making sure your team knows about things. Now, when you get to Hardy's rank, he's got a very large group of people, so you may not get a phone call from Hardy, but he's relying on each and every one of you but you may get a call from Hardy, but he's relying on you each to tell your team. So there's a big message in that. As your team starts to grow, you will really rely on promoting it to your core group of people, your core personal people that you brought into the business, and then they in turn are going to be sharing with others. Also, when it comes to weekly trainings like this Zoom, I'm sure Hardy has a system that he's reminding you about it. And I think that's mostly from Basecamp, right? But he may also, and I know we get email reminders, but also, it never hurts when you bring somebody new into the business that you're doing the high touch and personally calling them till they get it in the rhythm, right? They get into the Nerium rhythm of, okay, these calls are, once a week. Same with the corporate update call. I'm not sure, are you getting the corporate update call in Europe? Is there a weekly call on Tuesdays? I'm not sure, Hardy. No, not yet, but it will happen. So you'll remind your people about that. And the regional trainings, the monthly trainings, I know aren't happening on a regular basis in Europe yet, but it will. So again, same philosophy, and it is a philosophy. The best promoters have the biggest businesses. And so that's the main topic that I wanted to cover, but also our national conference. Now it's going to be in Nashville in April, And I know it's not technically an international conference. Anna and I were talking about that. But I don't believe they're doing a national conference in Europe yet. That's what I've been told. There isn't going to be a conference in Europe where you all come together in April. So if there's any way, and I know it's expensive, but I highly recommend if any of you can come to our national conference in Nashville in April, it would be fantastic. You would definitely have your mind expanded to what we truly have our hands on here with Neora. It will be Neora. It will be the first Neora conference, right? So I know that's a biggie, and we're going to want to all take pictures together and always, remember that experience for sure. So if there's any chance you can make it to the national conference, that changed everything for me in my business. The first year that I was doing any type of network marketing like this, I did pay the money to go to the national conference. It doesn't cost that much to attend. It's the flying, right, and your hotel stay. But if you pair up, team up with other brand market partners and have the hotel room together, maybe 2 or 4 of you are together in one room, you can defray a lot of the costs with that. But it changed my whole perspective on how special the company is by making it to that conference. And I realized, wow, what we have something really special that we can grow globally with. And it's a much bigger mindset that Jeff Olson has when you hear him in person. I know many of you were just in Munich when we were there, and you heard him in person. So imagine that you're hearing from him, but you're also hearing from Bo Short, our president. You're hearing from national marketing directors like myself, but many others of differentiating backgrounds, different backgrounds. And you may relate to one of them more than you do, maybe to Anna or myself. So it's just a great platform that we have. So if you can make it to conference, definitely go to that. If you can't, no worries. Don't break the bank on that. But that is a key indicator of a very strong business. The more people that they have at a national conference, they know they're going to see the vision, see the bigger picture, and they will be here, number 10 a year from now, because that's number 10 in the book, to be here a year from now. And if people commit to going to a national conference, usually there's no turning back. They get it, and they're not going anywhere. So I highly recommend, encouraging your team to go to that. And I know John and I will put a party together for just our European team. We always do. One of the nights at the conference, we schedule just for all of you guys. And we have it either at our suite, or we rent a restaurant and just all come together and have a meal together. So hoping to do that again this year in Nashville. So basically, really that's what I wanted to share, that the more that you have definitely high touch along with the high tech in your business, where you're making sure people know about the system. And I guess really that's how I should end it. It's training your team that we have a system. And we all know that Jeff Olson is big on the fact that systems don't fail people, right? The fact, if we have a system in place, which we do, of teaching and training, that people will have success here, even with no experience whatsoever. So it's really making sure, promoting is making sure your team knows about the system that we have in place to support them. Even when, you might have a doctor's appointment and you can't be on the call, but you can plug your team in and they're getting the training even without you there. That's what's huge in this business arena, where it's not in typical business, right? Most corporate Switzerland companies, right? Like corporate America, corporate Swiss, I'm going to say Swiss companies. If the boss isn't there to train the team, it's not going to happen. But we have that ability with our system to have other leaders step in and train your team. And you can be insignificant and still make that residual income that I know we're all looking for. So with that, Hardy, I'll end the training, and I'm sure maybe a few of you have questions on promoting.
Who has a question for Wiki?
Or maybe you don't.
I'll wait a second, Ingrid. I'll unmute you. Yes. What is your question?
My question is, a lot of people tell me, women, they tell me, oh, I have my products. I don't want to try a new product. And my question is, what do you answer? What's a good answer to give these people?
That's a great question. So I usually have about 4 questions that I ask them. So if somebody says, I love my product, I don't want to try anything else, I say, that's wonderful. How long have you been using your product? That's usually question number 1. How long? And it might be 20 years. It might be 5 years. It might be, oh, I just started it, and I really like it. So, whatever the answer is fine. It's their truth. It's their answer. Then I say, oh, great. Oh, okay. 10 years, right? Whatever it is, 10 years. Is there one thing that if your product could do differently for your skin, what would that one thing be? And then I'm quiet, because usually there is one thing. Usually there's something. Well, I'm aging under my eyes, and it's still really not working under my eye area, right? Or they might say, I'm really happy with it. My skin feels moisturized, but gosh, if it could do one thing, I wish it would tighten here, So there's usually something that they wish it could do a little better. But if they come back and say, no, it's doing everything I want, I'm completely happy, thank you for the offer, but no, nothing different. Well, then they're not your customer, truly. It's just, she's not interested, and that's okay. Right? Or it could be a man that says, yeah, no, I'm completely happy. And you can't talk anyone into wanting to try it if they don't want to try it, right? So I like that one. I say, how long have you been using it? If it could do one thing differently. Sometimes I'll push a little further if they say, I really like how it's doing. I'm not sure if I would change anything. And then I push a little harder. Oh, okay, great. So you're completely satisfied with exactly how it works, and I get them to really think about it again. And usually they say, then they kind of really think about it and say, well, actually I do have a brown spot I'm getting over here. I think it's from sun damage, and it hasn't been able to get rid of that. That might be nice if it did, right? And then you could say, wow, ours does work on brown spots and red spots. I would love to have you try it. It has a money-back guarantee. What have you got to lose, right? So usually you can find something that their product is not currently doing. Does that help, Ingrid?
Yes, that's great.
Yeah, right?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good.
Marco, do you have a question?
I'm satisfied. I have no questions at the moment.
Good.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Marco. Thank you. So, yeah, Wiki, I think in writing, it really is a skill. And I think one thing that I see, probably, I don't know if it's typical cultural thing over here, but sometimes people are reluctant to invite 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 20 times the same person. And I'm sure you will have a recipe for us to make that happen. So what is your advice?
Yes, we have the same challenges here where you invite a friend and they don't come to an event, or or they're just not open to hearing more. And the reluctance is, I don't want to be pushy, right? And so I actually have a log. I keep a 3-ring binder. This isn't it, but it's a 3-ring binder where I keep a list of each person that I've talked to and what I have offered or what I have invited them to. So I keep that. So usually I know that, I invited them to a party at my home 2 months ago, and they said no, and then I'll see, I offered them a bottle to try, and they said no. And I'll see, I asked them one more time to another event, and they said no. So that, it might be 3 times. I still go back to those people, and with something different this time. So if it was, I invited them to a home party, then I offered the product to try, and then I invited to this maybe a restaurant, a market party. When a new product has come out, like EHT, that gives me an excuse to go back to them again without sounding pushy. And so that's what I usually do. If they've said no a couple of times, especially with the launch of EHT in Switzerland, in Germany. So this would be for your German people. You would offer that they at least look into it, right? And try it. I found the best places for EHT is on YouTube, so to send a YouTube video about someone's testimonial of how EHT has helped them. So you can do that. Go to someone with a new product. Now, also Illuma Boost. Illuma Boost is fairly new, right? Isn't that the newest product in Switzerland? It was the night, day, the cleanser, the eye serum and patches, and then I think they added Illuma Boost. So I've also gone back and said, hey, so-and-so, I know that I offered you to try our night cream, and you said, no, thank you. But I have to tell you, I've been using it for 6 months now, and I just can't believe my skin. It has never looked better. And we came out with a new product called Illuma Boost, and it's helping brighten the skin. It's helping with brown spots and red spots. Do you happen to have any challenges with that with your skin? And then let them answer. And they usually, most people say yes, because as we're aging, we're getting some of those brown spots. So then I say, I would love to have you try it. And better yet, we could have you try it for 30 days. There's a money back guarantee because you will want to use our Illuma Boost longer. So I'll go back with another product is what I do on the inviting. I've also made sure, even if they told me no, say on the night cream bottle, they told me no, I'll do what I said at the beginning of that. I'll say, I've been using the product myself now for 6 months, and I wasn't sure what it was going to do. I was happy with the other products that I was using. So I'm kind of using feel, felt, found with them. I feel your pain. You love your product. You don't think you need anything new, but so did I. But what I found is it has changed my skin for the better. I'm so glad that I tried it. Would you be willing to try it? Give it a try and see if it helps your skin in any way. I also talk about something different. I'll talk about pore size shrinking, because I think we don't talk about that enough. So I learned that if someone's told me no on brown spots, on wrinkles, maybe they say, I've earned all my wrinkles. I don't know if you've heard that before in Switzerland. Well, I don't really care about my skin. I've earned all my wrinkles. I'm happy, right? We get that here too. I say, well, gosh, the longer I've been using it, my pore size is getting smaller. I don't know if I ever mentioned that to you the first time I spoke to you. I might have only been talking about wrinkles, and some people could, feel like they've earned their wrinkles, but are you at all concerned with your pore size? So I'll bring up something else like that that I haven't shared with them in the past. And it's been amazing. Some people have jumped on the product then. They've said, oh, pore size, yes. You didn't say that the first time. I do have large pores. I've noticed that as I'm aging. Let me go ahead and order. So it does work. It's kind of crazy. It does work. Yeah. So just come up with something new, and then inviting to, you know, if you're having an or another RRP at someone's home or something like that, talk about Neora. I'd be remiss if I didn't say, make sure that they know that our name is changing soon and it's exciting times with our company. We're growing now. We're in Sweden and also the UK. So especially in Europe, you don't even necessarily have to talk about the name change. You could also just talk about the fact that we're expanding into many other countries, and now would be the time for them to take a second look at this. I know I shared it with you when we were only in Germany, Austria, and, you know, in our country, but now we just opened in Sweden and we're opening in the UK. Do you happen to know anyone there? Right? So just another excuse to talk to them about it. And I also like to take it away. I say, I know it's not for you. I know you told me no, right? So right away, they're like, phew, he or she's not going to bother me about the business, right? I know you told me it's not for you, but do you know anyone in Sweden or the United Kingdom? We have launched there and we're excited. So do you know anyone? So, and usually they feel a little bit more relaxed and think, oh yeah, I actually do. Yeah, let me see if I can get in touch with them for you, right? So so that's another avenue.
Cool. Yeah.
Hope that helps.
Yeah, that helps for sure. And I think it stimulates creativity. So you start to come up with other new things that you could use. So
yes, absolutely.
That's fantastic. So yeah, we are really close to the end of our call. So if no one has a question remaining, then I would like to do a checkout and ask Ingrid. So at the end of our call, how do you feel? What do you feel like saying?
Thank you very much, Vicky. It was so great, these calls, and I love the picture behind and the picture before you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Picture before your person looks good.
Yeah, you can look like that too. You just have to use our products.
That's right, product.
Oh, thank you, Ingrid. Thank you, Ingrid. And Marco, what do you feel like saying?
Thank you a lot, Vicky, for your tips. And I wish you a nice day and a pleasant day.
Thank you, Marco. So, Vicky, what do you feel like saying?
Well, I feel like saying I'm so grateful to be part of your new circle of friends. I mean, we really are becoming just a group of amazing friends here, and I'm thrilled for that. And I want to wish you all, no matter what holidays you celebrate, you know, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate, have an amazing time with friends and family.
Thank you so much, Vicky. And what do I feel like saying? Yes, I feel the same gratitude, and I'm so happy also that we get a little rest, and we have time to plan and think ahead and come back in the new year with renewed energy, with our batteries fully loaded, and with a lot of excitement for the launch. And I think that will help tremendously, because it will bring momentum, and that's what you were telling us last time, to restart our business and come back with new energy. So thank you so much, and I hope I get a chance to speak to Anna before Christmas, and I will try. We'll see if it works. And thank you so much for being here, and we're really looking forward to having you soon again on our call. Thank you so much, Vicky. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody, and have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.